Hello everybody, welcome back into Euro Truck Simulator 2 Thursday night stream in the Iveco, my own vehicle, the Iveco lorry cab. I'm going in my own cab with my own trailer today. I purchased it and I did show it last time. We went for a dark blue, shiny sort of silvery look. I've actually changed it to this lighter blue, which is a bit funny. We can't see it too well here in the dark because this is our hangar in Manchester, but I have changed it and I like the colour a lot more. I've also customised some things on it to make it a bit more friendly because it came with those exterior mirrors. I figured since we couldn't see them, it would be better for me to just have interior digitalised mirrors, relying purely on cameras. So this is our new Iveco colour. I actually like this a lot more. It's a lot brighter and just a lot better and a lot funner to use. Then I've got my own cab. Excuse me. Let's drive forward. My own trailer, which I'll show you now outside. So as you can see inside the, well, we had a crash, but as you can see the mirrors there are digitalised, so they will be on when the engine's on and off when the engine's off. We have our own trailer to carry stuff and do our own jobs, which means we're no longer stuck just carrying other people's trailers, which means we can be a bit more sort of free roam with it and we can drive where we want. Now we're no longer working for companies. We will also have to rest, and that will not carry on between sessions unlike with the companies. So when we rest now, it will, you know, if we have 4 hours till we need to rest and we rest, it will be 10 hours, and then if we log off, it will be 10 hours when we get back on. But if we log off when we have 4 hours left, it won't automatically restore itself. We also have to deal with fuel. We have to pay everything ourselves. So today we're going to be doing a job from Manchester to Albania. I don't think we can find one directly there, so we're going to do the longest trip possible, which is going to be, we could go all the way down to Skopje again, but that's a little bit too far, although that would get us just opposite Tirana, which is kind of what we're aiming for. Or we could go for something like to Mostar, which is a little bit shorter, but that will again give us that option there probably to get to Tirana afterwards. So we're going to do that. We could do the Skopje one, which is £79,000. Let's do that. It's 80 grand for this trip. My first long haul with a trailer. I'm going to set this as GPS destination now. With these sort of upgrades, because we're our own people, we're our own company, we now have to drive to any quick actions or the ability to do it from remote connection, if that makes sense. So we can't just press go and get going on the road. We have to connect it up to the wagon and load it on board, etc. Plus 4 hours to our need to sleep, so we do have to take that into account. So you see here we pull up. Now this will be our job, so we'll have to reverse so we can load the cargo. So again, cargo market, we're going to go all the way down to Skopje, which is not Albania, but pretty much towards Albania. Now we have to get the load on board. And again, if the sounds are pretty good or a bit too loud or quiet, then please let me know. So you see over there we have a highlighted zone. Now the wagon has taken a little bit of damage on the trailer, but we can always repair that at maintenance at bases or at garages throughout the map. I've been really enjoying my time with this. It's been really fun to start making some money in it, and I can't wait to use other drivers in other vans as well when we get a bit more expanded. I want to still aim for the base in Bern, but we'll have to save up some money for that. I have actually saved up, so since we last sort of met, I've gone back up to 250, so I've made another 100 grand. I did a lot of long haul, well-paying jobs the other day, and they paid something like 30 grand each. So really pulling in that easy money for this Iveco truck, it's making its place, making it worth it. We'll keep the light blue colour because it's, as I say, a bit more fun, and that might just be the company colour going forward. The next van I probably get will be I say van, the next lorry will probably be a MAN lorry, and maybe we can work up to something a bit more expensive, maybe a Mercedes. Not doing a too good job of the parking here. You notice here that though the view is a lot better inside. At least we don't have to, you know, constantly look left or right. We can sort of just use this one mirror and it's fine. Right, the damage somehow. I don't know why it's not registering it. Usually it registers. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's load up. So we'll probably be on the road for the evening here. There we go, 11 AM. So engines coming on. We're going to begin our long journey down to Skopje, and then from Skopje hopefully to Albania's Tirana. Welcome aboard, everyone. Let's get some truck lights on. I want to make sure we're well seen today. Get our wipers and set off. We got an estimated time, so 4 hours till we need to sleep. This is the longest journey I've ever done. First long haul, proper long haul. I've never done one this long before. This is 40 hours. 1,800 miles. And plus we've got the extra journey from Skopje to Tirana, so probably over 2,000 miles altogether. And we've got about 90 hours to do it, so a couple of days to get there. Let's just check our load actually. So 19 tons of fertiliser, that's not too bad. I carried 21 tons last night, and it does make a difference to the handling. And also my nameplate, I didn't mention it, but you can see it in the front of the window. It's so cool. Let's just you just about see it above the steering wheel. There is my own name, Grantham, on a custom plate in the window. That's a really nice little feature there. And there are a few more customizations you can do. You can put one on the passenger seat side over there. You can put some more stuff in the cockpit. You can adjust the colours and things. And well, for now, guys, we're sticking with a few minor upgrades, cosmetic, and as time goes on I will upgrade the engines, so we'll give it more horsepower, and I'll probably upgrade the transmission as well. She is fast, and I think the trailer we've gone for was a decent one. It's got quite a bit of room in there. You can carry upwards of 30, I think 30 tons plus, even though I haven't had that much yet. She's white. It's a white one, obviously. I don't know if that makes a difference. I'm trying to show you it while we drive here. So there's plenty of room at the back there if we want more wheels. We could in fact upgrade it. It just crashed a little bit. But yeah, we could in fact upgrade it and put more wheels or more things on it. I have upgraded the lights, so on the side now we've got more reflectors. You can see that all the way along. I think that's a lot better for visibility, because before it was only a few reflectors along the edges. Fuel-wise, so this trip we've got obviously 19 hours to do it. We've got a few hours. We probably have to sleep and refuel a couple of times on the way there. But 80 grand, the most, like the highest paid job ever so far. I feel quite glad to be doing it. I've already leveled up towards master, so I'm now officially a master truck driver. And soon I'll become a teacher as well, which is great. So I can probably start to employ people. using the Moza R5 racing bundle for this. Really enjoying it since I got it. Really good with the force feedback. Hopefully going to be able to buy an Iveco wheel for it or something. So this will probably do the usual route down to the south, and then we'll get the ferry over to France. That's usually the way this goes, and then once we're in Europe, things do open up a little bit in terms of routes. When we get down to the Balkan region, it's going to turn most likely into mountains. I'm trying to recall, I did drive to Skopje before, which was quite a long journey. In fact, that was what I was originally planning to do tonight, was burn down to Skopje, but tonight we're going Manchester to Skopje to Tirana in Albania. Again, 2,000 miles. If anybody has any idea what the real time equivalent is, then I'd love to know in the comments afterwards. See whether or not I actually did it in decent time or not. That'll happen sometimes, so they speed or drop. I don't know why. I don't think that's a realistic thing. So it'll drop down to 50, and then back up to 60. But there's no obvious reason for it. And usually on the motor in the UK, you wouldn't drop down to 50 and then 60. It just doesn't work like that. Go ahead and use the cruise control, just one of the many features the Iveco one has, which is why I love this brand and lorry. It's extremely well made. It's got some high-tech gear in it as well. Of course, all lorries are capped on this to 56 unless you take the speed limiter off. I don't think that's realistic. It does look so cool, and that Grantham plate in the window at the front is just the icing on the cake. I really do love it. I think you can in fact buy, now the game has obviously been out like 16, what, so it's 2013, so it's 2026, and it's been out for a long time. You've got accessory packs for the cockpit and the cab. I might get that, so you can hang up some get some like dogs or something. I can't remember what they have in it. Stuff to just make the inside look a bit more interesting. Just personalise it, and we can personalise it. It's not a shared cab. It's not a, you know, it's our own cab, so we drive this one all the time. Even if we do employ people, it won't be on this one. This will be my main truck, I think, for the majority of this. I think the end goal of £1 million is probably not too far off. Realistically, if we're doing jobs that are going to be pulling like 60 to 80 grand a job, then it's not going to take long at all. That's like 10, it's like 20, at the most 15, 16 jobs. Yeah, that persistence though, the persistence between the truck and the driver as it carries over to the sessions is fantastic. I didn't think they were going to do it, but it is in fact a feature implemented. So now, rather than resetting it back to 0 when we do external jobs for other companies, we have to at least, as I say, keep our driver in shape and safe to drive and legal to drive. We have to keep the fuel retruck between sessions. You have to keep it repaired between sessions because they're things that will carry over. So you see, we didn't actually start with a full tank today, which is because I filled up yesterday, spent a bit, and we have 1 hour till we need to rest, so we may as well refuel and rest up. Sooner the better. Go for a full tank, we'll get sleeping for a few hours, we'll probably continue into the night. Traffic might have reduced a little bit as well. Tank is full, that was pretty easy. We have, I think, a rest space here. So in front of the blue lorry, nice blue colour as well on his. He's got a little bit of a nicer, I don't know if it's nicer, it's a bit darker. It's a DAF as well. Let's have a look. So ours is a nice light blue, bit more playful, bit more sort of fresh out of truck school, and the guys behind is still very nice though. Anyway, let's rest up. You see there, 11:30, that guy behind still there, that one there is still part there, maybe stationary the whole night. Lights and parking brake. You see there, full tanks and 10 hours till we need to rest. So we can estimate how many rests we'll need basically. We've got 74 hours to go, 36 hours till we get there. So probably need to sleep and refuel another 3 times possibly. already seen a few Balkan logistic vans and trucks up here. This is I don't know if this is one of them, but I've never seen this before in the UK. Lisette Logistics. I did see Balkan or Baltic last night, one of them, travelling through the UK, probably all the way down to the Balkans. Absolutely, it really is insane, the distance, and the UK seems to be like the majority of it, because when we get into Europe, even though we're travelling slower, it just feels like it's a lot easier to get through it. The roads here can go on for quite some time, and there's not really much in between them. Okay, here's our turn to Dover. Careful of these bends, they're quite sharp, some of them. See what I mean? Almost went over the side then. Beautiful looking sky tonight, tons and tons of stars out. I think we almost scraped the side of that. Not quite though. Yeah, thank God they modelled stars in there, so they've actually modelled the sky, the moon and things. It looks really well done. The clouds and the weather system as well. And they said that they were bringing an island in Iceland went out, which is true. But now they've just announced Turkey too, so they're really still cranking out DLCs. Quite major ones as well, so there's quite a lot of territory to cover there with Turkey. I'm not sure about the Iceland one though. How would that work? Because you wouldn't really be able to drive to it, you'd have to get the boat. So Iceland's probably going to be quite small. Ireland as well. The Turkey one will be nice because then you got the whole sort of beyond the Baltics, which if you beyond the West Balkans. If you've got the West Balkans, you can go through there to the Turkey one, so that'd be cool. And obviously they should add Greece in there, or maybe it's already added in another DLC. Right, what are we doing here? Got a 50-mile-an-hour limit. For some reason it's taking me Southampton again. I wish it wouldn't do this. Whoa, he's going to drive into me then. I knew they had to merge, but blimey. It almost caused a collision. Thank God we're driving at night. So much more relaxing. These night drives are my favourite. Right, there's the Channel Tunnel left to our right. Let's take this one nice and wide. There we go. Keep your eyes out here, folks. So there are various things here for cars and for lorries. You don't want to be in the wrong one, so this one here is for a lorry. Well, wrong turning. This one next to it is for the lorry. Okay, there we go, Folkestone. Oh, he's taken us to Folkestone, to Calais. Odd choices, very odd. 35 minutes, couple of £100 out of our own pockets, but we can afford it. We've been making plenty of money back from this. So now we're in France. I think we have like a mandatory light. I actually found myself driving in front. I think it was France the other day, and didn't have my lights on it, and it said obviously it's not mandatory, but I still got fined for it. So you've really got to be cautious about the time of day as well. Notice the transition as well. France has smoother roads. I don't know why. UK's roads seem quite bumpy, but this is nice and tarmacked and smooth. And there's probably less roadworks as well. Speed limit just dropped down to 30. No idea why it would do that. Must be a pretty steep turn out here in France. This is some sheer determination and endurance right now. This is our first long haul, or my first long haul with my own trailer and cab. It's also my first endurance test. Is it, am I going to be able to endure it? Am I going to enjoy it? And am I going to be able to do it in the future? Because 80 grand is tempting, but could you realistically sit there for a couple of hours and go 1,800 to 2,000 miles on a regular basis? That's again quite considerable. That's most trucks don't do that. It's not like we're carrying specialist goods, so we're not carrying explosives, flammables. We're only carrying the old fertilizer. Although there was a shipment the other day I did, or I could have done, which was the shipment of weapons to Germany out of all the places they could have gone, and that was a yeah, just not the usual load, I guess. If we were transporting like materials that were flammable or combustible or just explosive in general, and we're going that distance to Skopje and then to Tirana, then of course there's a risk. I think there's a risk there. I don't know if it's actually possible, if it's modelled, but there is a risk, of course, that if you crash you're going to damage and blow them up. That's what I keep thinking. But yeah, 1,800 miles, probably more than I've ever done before. I think the most I did before was 1,400 miles. bit early then. I think that lorry's going to do the same thing. So the line on the GPS actually does tell you when to transition to another lane, which is cool. You don't really have to guess which lane you have to be in because it'll tell you. Although to be fair, I'm only doing it this time. I'm doing this time because I want to, but most times I don't bother with it. I just stick in my own lane. As long as you know where to go, and in fact, I'm just so grateful again that the Iveco truck that we bought did in fact have a GPS in it. Because there was no way to view the internal of the cab, you see, which would have been nice when I was looking around to buy it. Should be in Germany, I think. Hopefully we won't be going. We shouldn't touch the Netherlands, or maybe we're in Brussels and Belgium. There's the flag. There we are, passing into Germany. Just leaving the Belgium. Surprised we even went through there, to be fair. Could have just gone all the way through France. Germans as well, they tend to have a slower speed limit, 50 kilometers an hour. It's not very fast at all. So this is cruise control time. Save my foot from getting exhausted. I don't know what that car is in front. It doesn't look like a police car, but it kind of does. So it might be security for the airport. They have modeled Frankfurt on here pretty well, at least externally. I haven't been able to see any runways, but I have seen planes and things, so hopefully we'll come across that at some point. There's Frankfurt on the sign on the right. I think that might be where we're going actually, so let's get across. I've assigned the key now for the window on the left hand side there, so it's open, but the way it's been assigned is pretty cool. So they've designed it so when I've assigned it to the key, it operates like a real window. So you press it once and it will continuously go down or up. If you hold the down button, you see that? It won't go all the way down, so that's realistic operation. That's really cool. So now when I hold my D-pad down, you know, I can control the level it drops to, and if I press it once, it will go all the way down, or I can stop it and go back up. I've still got to assign, so I've managed to do the windows. I want to try and get some more stuff assigned. There's like a phone option in here. I don't know whether we can actually call people on it. That would be pretty cool. I also assigned a key to the GPS there so we can zoom out and just see our distance. Really nice place at the moment though, right over this sort of viaduct bridge. Just next to us on the right there, the train track as well. Probably the ICE. I did see the ICE the other day flying through Germany. It's a white train, long white train, looks very much like the Eurostar. Fastest train in Germany, or one of them at least. How are we doing on block? So we got 1 hour left till we need to rest. We are in fact speeding. Completely forgot about the speed limit there. And we almost need to refuel. So as I say folks, it'll be refueling and resting 3 times, and that means, you know, 3 times and then we'll probably be there or close to being there. It does burn a lot of fuel, the Iveco. I think if we get a powerful engine, a more powerful engine with more horsepower, it'll burn more, but we can probably even that out. As I say, with a transmission, we'll try and get something that will upgrade its efficiency. When I get skill points, I've been spending them on the sort of greener travel option, where you save fuel. And that is, I think, Frankfurt Main in front, so we are going past it. And hopefully there's a rest spot soon as well, so we can stop over and sleep. Yeah, Frankfurt am Main. So cargo centre and stuff on the right. This is the airport, guys. Absolutely ginormous. We can recognise it. There's some planes in the distance. That's cool. We flew out of Frankfurt the other day, didn't we? In the, was it the 2E737? Or we flew into Frankfurt, is one of them. But yeah, this is what it looks like on the ground. This is why I like Truck Sim, because you can do the flights on the simulator, Flight Sim, come over to Euro Truck and, you know, experience it on the ground level in some more detail. It really is a magnificent looking airport. Let's go an external shot for this one and see if we can see any more planes going out. So just there on the left, well, the right of us, there's a plane going up. I've already unlocked the cutscene for there, and I've already done a screenshot of it. It is a sort of location where you get extra bonus points if you take a photo of it, so I recommend it. Really cool detail from the guys at SCS. There's a rest stop coming up, thank goodness. So now we refuel and rest again for another 10 hours or so, and we got still got 60 hours till we get there. Still got another 24 hours before we're there. But I actually think we're doing pretty good on time. We've already gone 800 miles. We've got about 1,000 left. And we've been travelling for maybe an hour. cost us a couple of £100 of that fuel. Whoa! There's other people driving here. There's that big JCB. The longer trailers. It can be a bit of a danger. Anyway, let's get our rest spot and we'll... Have we gone past it? We'll rest up and get some kip time. And we actually fit in the space as well. It's a miracle. Yeah, about 1 hour on the road. I did estimate about 2 hours for this trip. I'm going to check afterwards as well whether or not I did it in the sort of recommended time. So even though we got an amount there and it tells us how long we have, there will no doubt be records of this. It's not the longest trip on the game by far, but I think this is probably one of them. Going from the north to the east south, and of course one of the ones would probably be from somewhere like Spain to the east. I'll have to try that out at some point. Back on the road, looks like we're going back into the night. I don't mind, most of the night drives on this one is exactly what I'm kind of looking for. Plenty of things to see on the daytime, but of course nighttime has the bonus of less cars on the road and just being a lot more pleasant in my opinion. Uh-oh, we got something ahead, like a crash or something. Let's go ahead and get right over. Holy! Never seen that before. We got a lorry truck on fire. Oh my goodness, that's what I was talking about before, folks. I said I was concerned about doing that kind of a distance with an explosive or flammable trailer. And that guy's having the exact same issue I was talking about. What are the chances? That's exactly what I was worried about. As I say, about explosions, about... And I'm pretty sure since they've modelled it on that guy, they will have modelled it on your own trailer as well. So if we're pulling a gas tank like that, it probably could set on fire at some point. This is why we carry non-explosive materials for this length of time. We really minimise the risk. He's going to have lost a lot of cash though if he's pulling his own trailer and cab. You know, he's lost out on... a lot, and he's probably going to have to pay the company some retribution as well. That's not the right word, is it? Restitution, I think it is. Yeah, so fertiliser will come in handy for all the farms. Of course, all the farms are the things that will need them. And of course, gardeners. It's certainly a valuable product. Last night, or it might have been the night before, I did some long hauls and I pulled some gummy bears, which was pretty nice. I think it was about 21 tons of gummy bears, and that was paying pretty well too, so sweets are very expensive. You've got to look for the commodities that pay well, I think, to make it truly worth these long runs. Going into another storm as well. All this journey seems to be at the moment is pretty bad weather. Hoping it'll pick up when we get further down south. there's the sign Dresden, Praha, Berlin. Maybe it'll take us through Praha in the Czech Republic. Seems to be taking us that direction. At least we avoided Berlin. I guess that's a bit more off to the east, isn't it? Should be getting signs for Switzerland soon as well. We think we might see Salzburg or even Innsbruck. I haven't even been to Innsbruck yet. I should go. They've most likely modelled the airport there, as I was saying, but not had a chance to drive down yet. Wonder why the speed limit here is so low for lorries. It's only 50 kilometers, but everyone else seems to be going a lot faster. I think everyone else is going 56. Excuse me, the speed limit is 50 miles an hour, but in kilometers I think it's about 100, 110. But it does feel like everybody else is going, the cars especially are going a lot faster. We are limited to 56, so it must, I don't know what the regulations are there. I don't know what the point of that would be. Maybe it's to save on pollution perhaps, or just to keep the noise level down. There has to be a good reason for it. If it was me, I'd just keep it consistent throughout Europe. 56 throughout on the main roads like this, motorways. Alright, we've still got the Passau on the sign. Linz is coming up. I can feel myself getting tired as well. The endurance is running out. Right down. We're going to see plenty of these on the way. So that's a coach. Doesn't even have any services with him at the moment. There are SOS phones scattered down these motorways, but I haven't seen any in Germany at the moment. But we're throughout the UK though. Okay, we got Wien on the list. Wien is Vienna in Austria, so Austria is coming up. One of the places I forgot about actually is, I said Salzburg and Innsbruck, but they're not the only places in Austria, of course. We've flown into Wien before, Vienna. It's quite nice, not the most interesting approaches, and of course there's other airports in the region which are pretty much just as interesting as Innsbruck. It's not the only one there, is it? We will fly back to Innsbruck actually, just talking about it, and tomorrow, guys, we will be flying Zurich. That's the thing, look at the outside of the truck now. It looks almost white. It's a really like pale looking blue-green. It's almost glow in the dark colour, that's why I chose it. I think it looks fantastic at night. That would be a cool feature as well, being able to add a glow in the dark cab or something like that, or maybe some just something a bit more exciting on the cab colours, maybe like patterns, or maybe they've already got them. I'll have to look into it. Ah, there's the SOS phones inside the tunnel at least. So we're safe. We need to call anybody. I don't think we have to though. Probably another feature they'll implement. Or maybe not. The ability to call a rescue service. Polizei on the side there, just sneaking past, probably waiting to give us a ticket. Ah, here we are. We're actually probably in Austria at the moment. Oh, we're getting into it. At least you can see all the mountains. Oh wow, this is going to be interesting. Right for the mountains. Plenty of tunnels here. Most likely plenty of skiing resorts as well. So what's blocked our Spittle down there. We're continuing through grass. Yeah, you can just about. I hope you can see it. I know it's dark outside, but the outlines of the mountains there. We're getting right into the piece. I think this will take us down to through the sort of main artery of Austria. Been a while since I've driven down here. The Balkans do have the mountains, but the Balkan area that I've seen so far just tends to have short mountains and lakes, which are very pretty, but also a ton of narrow roads that go around mountains. So you've got these sort of narrow, winding cliff roads through tunnels, and visibility there could be pretty poor of the road ahead. And then throwing some steep corners for a bit more of a challenge, and that's what it is pretty much summed up. Very much like this part we're on now, actually. Okay, toll booth, customary toll booth. We've done well to avoid them so far. We can just go straight through on this. There's probably no need to stop. This is the right one, isn't it? Ah, we somehow threw the money at the toll booth lady or man. Good catch. £8 as well, that's not too bad. Entering St. Michael's now. 1200 metres. Of course, traffic builds up. This will be like tourists. You see, coach travel is quite popular in Europe. There's been absolutely tons of them. So Marcus to the right, V to the right. We're still continuing to grass. Wild route this evening, isn't it? And it's only 4 in the morning. I think we've got to probably till about 11 PM at night. So we've got a whole day of driving left, and we should be down to Skopje. Another toll booth, £20. I thought it was cheap before. This is probably because of the natural beauty, I think, so they're trying to preserve it, reduce the amount of traffic going this way, and also just to maintain the roads through here as well. That's probably what the costs are contributing to. And of course the tunnels, these are going to be expensive right through the mountain. At least we have these nowadays. I mean, you know, in the past they would have literally had to climb over them by foot. We can now drive through them, which is great. And hopefully we're going to get some of those lakes. Some beautiful Swiss lakes. Switzerland lakes, and of course Austrian if we're going through. Don't really know where we are at the moment, to be fair. Country-wise at least. New location unlocked. Graz discovered. Finally, Schackenwald. Ah, there it is. Very, very small. Just as the sun comes up as well. Quite industrialised. The houses, not really many to be fair, just industrialisation zones. And of course the sound barrier, they take care of themselves down here with some nice looking, I don't know whether it's like vines or moss. It's very cool though. Very, very hip for a motorway. This is now the border as well, isn't it? Good. Another toll booth. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of strange light festival thing. Strange symbols on signs. We've got a cafe over to the right. Vignette. Sales point on the right. Yeah, it's just some kind of maybe customs possibly, but yeah, not too sure. We may be entering the Balkan area at this point, which is exciting. Yeah, I can see a bit more detail. You'll notice as well when we get the Balkans. I've noticed it, but the scenery and just everything looks more high fidelity than the base game. Probably because it was released afterwards, of course. Reduced to 37. We have discovered something else almost. How long we got here? 2 hours do we need to rest and to refueling. Only another 14 hours to go. Zagreb is straight ahead. Brilliant, another new place. So we're definitely entering into the Balkans. Budapest off to our right, which is unavailable. Probably part of a DLC. And we are up to 56 again. Thank goodness. That 50-kilometre limit is it's too tedious sometimes. Nice 56 for the old Iveco. Say that, we don't want to roll it on the corner though. Yeah, brilliant. The Balkans region really is pretty. I highly recommend it if you're going to check this out, or if you've already got ETS, the base game. Don't really like to push DLCs because it's money grabbing, is it? But I think they did a good job with the Balkans one. It looks very good. Immersive is the word, immersive. So this is in fact taking us towards Zagreb, which is normal, towards Croatia. We're also going to go past another airport, some kind of aerodrome. I don't really know what it is. I've never been to that airport. There's no clear sign for it. Alright, here's the flag of Croatia. Maybe we'll skim Serbia. There's so many possibilities down here. Really enjoying the transition of the scenery. Whoa! Completely didn't see that. So this is that mountainous road sort of transition we're going through, and this is where things get interesting driving wise. So a lot more challenging and a lot more dangerous. This will be customs of some sort. Documentations for the border. Some borders are a bit more strict. Some of them are really lackluster and they don't really check any documentation. Now that was pretty simple actually, so they didn't do any checks, which I was expecting. Must be an open border day down here in Croatia. Looking nice. Saves us some hassle though, doesn't it? Distance, still got, in fact we've not got a speed limit here, this is just the transition zone at the border. So what they'll be doing, they won't be scanning the documents and things, but they'll be using the cameras to do number plate recognition. They'll be using facial recognition software, so they'll be doing it all for the virtual cameras without telling us, which is very sneaky. So that way we don't actually have to give any physical documents to them, they just check it all on computers. We do need to rest again. We're at 40 minutes. We probably should have taken a rest at the last opportunity. Okay, pay toll. And then hopefully a rest zone and a petrol station coming up. Thankfully this one we could just go straight through, provided that lorry's not going to block us. Okay, there's no, in fact there is Zagreb and Nova Mesa. That weird looking place, strange sounding place. The Gian or something. Very cool to visit. Anyway, I think there's a petrol station coming up. We'll get refueled. We are getting there, slowly but surely. It's going to be worth it, I think. 80 grand pull in one night. Not too bad. You know, we could have just pulled off there at Split and explored the city a bit, just off to our sort of left and right. Right in it, we did fly to Split. It's a really well-known location in Croatia. It was also really nice to go there in the little plane and just take in the coastal lines there. Yet again, just more places I want to fly back to. Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that. So avoid sleeping offence. We're committing an offence because we're overdue sleep. Realistic. So legally we can only drive 10 hours at a time. And then we have to rest, otherwise we incur fines. So that's really, really good to see it implemented. I didn't actually think it was going to be implemented, but again, things keep happening which I don't expect. So that realism is definitely, I'd say on par with the flight sim, maybe even better, because you have the economy elements to deal with at least. At least you have a purpose of driving, whereas in the flight sims, like, you can only imagine it, you can't actually physically, you can't see it on the computer, you can't make money in a company. It's all make-believe, unfortunately. Another toll booth? Maybe we can stop the toll booth and have a quick rest to the side or something. It's handy we swipe our card there, our Euro card. You do need to find a rest stop. I thought we was going to be going to the other direction. Looks like we're going down past the Greb. That's where we just went. And there's one coming up along the A3, I think this is. Oh, finally, 500 metres, thank the Lord. We won't commit any more offences if we can help it. You can tell I'm tired as well, I'm driving all over. Driving's impacted. Can't keep the lorry straight. Perception. Distortion. Let's get the tanks refueled. So I think it'd be nice to see the total we spent on fuel as well at the end in the summary, but that doesn't pop up. Maybe they could consider implementing it. This is very nice, isn't it? I don't remember the rest stops being this nice. Look at that, you got a nice little shop. You got some places to get some snacks. And of course they send the lorries at the back here out of the way. Is that BTS petrol? Is that Balkan transportation? You got there Euro something, Euro Super 95, 100 and Euro Diesel. And let's hope there's a rest spot available here. Looks like there might be. These rest spots are generally usually quiet. I think I've had two incidences when I've come to one and it's been completely full. Minus the sleep, we probably would have got there by 11. Let's check the time. So, well, I think it may work out. Well, you can see it there, can't we? 11 hours, so about 6 in the morning. Excuse me, see if we make good time on this last sort of leg. And we are mandatory lights here. Okay, Sesterina is a toll booth, I think. Yeah, that is what it is. So we're just getting down into Serbia now. Slow down nice and early here. You can see there's a traffic jam, so it's quite popular down here in Belgrade. And when I drove through, I noticed it was quite accurate towards the actual city. So if you've ever been, I haven't even been, I've just seen it on videos, but it really does look accurate. You've got the bridge there separating, you know, the different sides of Belgrade, the new side and the old side. I'm assuming that's where we're going to be going through today. Okay, there should be an automatic payment, if anything. We haven't had a customs weigh station yet, but I think we got one coming up, so we have to do... I mean, it depends what they want to weigh, to be fair. We have got fertiliser and we've probably got documents. They want to check our weight limit, so that's sometimes the case. We'll check our weight against the limit and see if we're allowed in. Rekar Trans, no idea what that is. It looks kind of... I was going to say it doesn't even look Balkan, it looks Norwegian. Good evening. Checking documentation, good. So he's going to check the documents. Everything's in order, fantastic. You have a fantastic evening, sir. Not quite on contraband police tonight, but the future is wide open at the moment. Genres just crisscrossing in and out of each other, aren't they? Yeah, Serbia's taking their sort of immigration and just general border control seriously. Not letting random trucks in, not letting random cargo in. They're really taking the time here, checking everything thoroughly. Documents. I think the only thing we're missing is an X-ray machine. Everything's in order, we don't have to worry about a single thing. And the last check before we go in. Kind of all clear, we got a car on the inside. Alright, we're in Serbia, everybody. Lovely place. Putarina. Pay toll. Another one. Unsurprising. I think it's just to do with the upkeep of the roads and the maintenance. Because obviously these are very hard roads to construct and they're also very dangerous roads, so they probably do need maintenance. Quite often from crashes and from, you know, from rockfall from the mountains, landslides, because they do occur, guys. They do damage roads, and obviously there's a lot of bridges here being built as well. I hope we are going to go straight through Belgrade. As I say, it's really, really accurate to the real city. Shabats. All the familiar places, and as you get further down into the Balkans, I know it's a DLC, but you can see this huge difference in quality and huge difference in details. So in the default game, you don't get mention of different places on signs, you only get mentions of the places that are in the game. Whereas when you get into the DLC area, you're getting these signs, and you're getting a lot more signs in general. Signs for places that aren't even included in the DLC, which I really, really like. So you actually get an idea of the country. You can see we still Shabats. I don't even think that's in here. You know, I don't think we can visit it. I might be wrong though. There's Niš. All these familiar places we've flown to: Niš, Budapest, Novigrad. Novi Sad, excuse me. Milos the Great. Learning a bit of history here as well. Milos the Great. The roads down here are a lot bigger as well. There's a lot more structure to it. Infrastructure. There's a lot more buildings. There's a lot more roading. I wonder with all the DLC they're bringing out, you know, new places, are they going to add the ability to travel across the channel and across water under tunnels or not? That's something I think they should consider. I pointed it out a few times, but at least that way you know, being able to drive. I think I'd driven onto a boat, onto a ship, but that was it. So you can't actually see it go across the water, which is fine, but then you've got those transitions through the tunnels underwater and you don't really get to see anything. You just sort of transported there, so maybe they could add it. Anyway, look at this fantastic mountain city. It just looks so much better down here. I really do prefer it. Glad to get the DLC. I will probably drive down here more often, and probably mostly here going forward. Because otherwise, if we want to go back from Manchester again, we'll have to drive all the way back there. And if we decide to do a fast travel, it's going to cost us a couple of grand. So yeah, you've got that sort of consistency. So when you log on now, you'll be in the place you last left your vehicle. I have taken IKEA ones before, IKEA. I've taken some of the like Space Cola stuff, which was nice. Really cool sort of wagon on that one. I can't remember the exact brand name, but it was like stars and space stuff. What's going on here? We're passing through somewhere. Belgrade over to the right. If he's taking it wide, I'm taking it wide. Just about. I mean, it's still working at night there. It's midnight. A hotel off to our left. Yeah, it's still working on roadworks. Must be an important project. This is probably going to be expensive. Start of a toll road. Looking upwards of £30, I think. One of the things that you probably don't even think about when you play these kind of games is, you know, the language aspect. Picking up like the words here and there, and they will come in handy if you plan on visiting. But yeah, you can learn a little bit of different languages with this Euro Truck Sim, which I do like. At least it keeps you productive, like mentally at least. It's not just wasting time. quite busy this evening actually. 2:54 in the morning. Just about passed through the tunnel. Traffic has built up considerably over the Balkan region. A lot of transportation going on. We are somehow 56 over 50. Oops. Not the worst thing in the world. Those sort of speed changes do get you. Gotta keep, as long as the police aren't there, sometimes you will actually be okay to go over the speed limit, although I don't recommend it. Still on the, I can't believe we're still on the A roads. We were on the A3 earlier. It feels like ages ago. We're still on that. We're still on the A1. Is that the A1? I think it is. All the way down through Serbia. And then onwards, of course, to Macedonia, North Macedonia, and then it'll be Albania, final stop. So 2 hours to rest. We've got 2.5 hours till we get there. We could push it and go all the way there without resting. We have got another 24 hours to complete the job, so we could do that, and then at least that way we probably won't have to stop on the way to Tirana. £97. Our budget's getting smaller by the day, guys. £97 toll booth. That toll road really was expensive. They must have been doing a lot of work over that in the last year. And then we're straight into a customs office. So where are we going? We're leaving Serbia. Goodbye. And we're entering, I think, are we entering Macedonia? Hopefully. That was close. Too close for comfort. There's a flag up there. I don't know what it is. It kind of does look like we cleared it in. It kind of does look like it, but also looks Estonian for some reason. Let's try the outside view. That's still Serbia's flag. There's a Macedonian flag. I knew it. So we're in North Macedonia finally. Getting tired as well. We got an hour till we need to rest. There is a rest stop coming up, and as I say, we'll probably do it earlier rather than later on this. That is a long truck, almost the same as our trailer to be fair. Ours is just as long as that, missing the wheels at the back. Should be clear straight through now and then straight into the rest stop. So it is in fact sending us that way. Sign thing didn't open though. What is happening? He must have registered it as being down when it was up. Oh well. Right on the side of the mountain cliffs. countryside hills. We'll take a few hours to recuperate our energy there. Eola lines, random cabs left around on their own. You can travel around without your trailer as well, which is something I will do at some point. So there we go, rest. I think just now one more refueling. Yep, thunderstorms kicking in, classic Balkan weather. .95 for diesel. That's probably the cheapest I've seen it. 9.5, less than £1 for a litre. Okay, there's a sign there. This is what I'm talking about, guys. So Sofia's not even in the Balkans DLC, but it's on the sign. Sculpture's on the sign, which is our destination. Come on, car. Classic communist blocks, everybody. We must be in an ex-Soviet country here, North Macedonia. Very, very hot actually down here. You are practically in Greece. By this point, here's our turn. We're almost there to Skopje. It's not even our final stop. But my goodness, we've travelled far. It's taken me a lot longer than I expected. 2.5 hours to get down here from Manchester. Real time, by the way, that. 2.5 hours real time. Maybe minus 10 minutes for the start there. This is a fantastic journey though. And I love the fact that it's not over. This is the addiction part kicking in, so you know it's a good experience when you keep coming back for more and you want more of the income things. Let's get this load of fertilizer dropped off. Vulcan Loco, very familiar place this. I've been here a few times since I got the DLC, of course. Whoa! And we accidentally hit the barrier there. Proceed to the drop-off zone. So we got to drop our lorry here somewhere. Hopefully not too hard to park. It's quite big spaces. Let's go for the 90 XP. But almost, as I say, we're past the level of master now. We're almost at the level of truck driver teacher or driving instructor, which is great. Real progression, and of course it gives us the tightest spot. Oh my goodness, the tightest spot in the world. How on earth are we going to get the lorry into there? Yeah, that is not going to be easy. Let's try and look at the outside view for this one. We could go forward and then round, reverse it back in. Let's try that. Let's try and get it through this gap. Oh, that ain't going to work, is it? They don't make this easy, guys. You see, the lorry won't get round there. Once we go around the back of him, he may be able to slip through. Jeez, man, they want them in some picky places, don't they? We'll use our mirrors for this. Oh well, a bit of skill here and a bit of showing off to do, I guess. Let's go around and we'll reverse it in. And then it'd probably be... Imagine if they sent it back to the UK on the trains. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Okay, let's get an idea from the external view. I don't like to use this, but again, it's there to use, so why not? And we could probably do it with the window mirror. As soon as we get sight of the parking space, I'll be turning and we should be able to get it dropped off. 80 grand. Just keep telling yourself that when you feel like giving up. That's gonna work out nice, I think. I think we'll be able to slip it back there. Oh yeah, working out very well at the moment. Using our own trailer just makes it so much better. Because we don't lose money then if we bang the trailer. Not the straightest parking, is it? Let's straighten it up a little bit. We did it! That's one journey. Skopje, 1,800 miles. Absolutely fantastic. We got an excellent rating. 1,760 miles. Level 21 now. 79 grand. And we have an upgrade. So let's do eco driving for the fuel. Now we got level 5. 30% fuel saving driving with trailer, which is what we need. Now go back to navigation, jobs, cargo market, and let's see if we can go down from Skopje to Tirana. So we want distance, route length. Probably want the shortest one first. Skopje to Skopje, Pristina. There we go, Skopje to Tirana, transporting some salt. Looks like rock salt or some kind of crystals. One of them actually pays more, so we could take this one, which pays a higher amount. So set as GPS. Now we have to pick up the load from the company. You see there, the job is not active yet. And the pickup zone is way over there for some reason. Rock eater, yeah, it must be rock salt. Or maybe even some magnesium or something like that. Okay, buy Balkan loco. Probably come back here in the future and do some whistle out and do some jobs for companies, and probably invest, as I say, in an oil tanker to carry those flammable liquids, not far distances but short distances. Baltic Logistic Transport are, whoa, our competition. In a sense. Grantham Trucking Corpo. Sure we can get there. We'll become the biggest name in trucking in the industries I've ever seen. It will take some time, but I will get there. Oh damn it. It'll be a long time, but and it'll be a lot of income as well. £6. I think so how much have we spent? Let's sum up the toll booths. Feels like €1,000, but it's probably more closer to at least 50. It feels like 50 or 60 euros just on toll booths. In fact, no, it'd be more than that, won't it? It'd be a couple of hundred, probably in the range of 200 to 300 euros. We're just going to go pick up our last load now, and that'll be the last one from Skopje to Tirana. Unfortunately, we didn't get a straight through job from Manchester this evening, but I was kind of expecting that anyway. It's even though it's a long route, you know, if you can get that long route and you want to do it, take it. If you can't get direct routes, you can just do what I'm doing, which is sort of splitting it into two, the long and the short. This is a long way to go to pick up this cargo though. Just check the map. Are we going to the right place? We are. I guess that would save us some time going, you know, Tirana's closer to that than it was the other place. And of course, yet again, toll booths. In the devs, when they wanted the realism aspects, I don't actually know if this is real. This can't be this can't be real. We had like 20 toll booths in one country. It's been unbelievable. £3. We can afford it. Iveco trucks, not known to be the most expensive brand, but certainly the coolest. Hey, 50 XP for 62 miles of free roam. Brilliant. I'm glad it rewards that free roaming stuff. Although you still get roads like that there that are sort of cut off, which I'd like to see opened up. Yeah, you can definitely feel the difference in performance. And now we're not carrying that load of fertilizer. The engine and things, and the cab is accelerating a lot quicker. It's going a lot faster. Okay, so it is a mining site. Brilliant. A new little destination discovered. Of course, we've gone past. Right, cargo market, and then we did have one there, so you can see it's already come up. So we take that job, and it shouldn't be too long to get there. So take job. Glad we didn't have to shut off the engines. It's saying a let's just pick up the cargo first. Right round that side, isn't it? This could be tricky. Yeah, it's going to damage my tyres, this isn't it? It's going to scratch my truck. Damn. I guess that's the joys of being self-employed. Again, just to like the most ridiculous parking spot you can think of. I'm going to do it though. We do a 360 and reverse back into it. God, the force feedback is fantastic. That direct drive shaft on the Moza, you feel every bump. Nice and swift, no messing around. We don't have much time to mess around today. Just clipping the concrete slightly, not too hard. It's a bit more difficult than I was expecting. They've put it in a real tricky space. You think they'd be able to load us up from a different position. That's a bit steep as well. Jesus, this is not going as planned. That'll be fine. Come on, green light. Give us the green light. It's good enough for me. Right, let's load it up. Let me see what it's actually called, what we're taking. Joanna Stokes Rock. It just says Rock Eater to where we're going from. It doesn't really say what it is. Silica? Oh, silica, duh. Oh, it's right there in front of me. So silica, 19 tons, quite a bit of cargo, and only 5 hours, which is nothing compared to the trip we just done. Realistically, can we get out of here? Yeah, we can. We can take this exit. Lovely. And back on the main roads through the Balkans. Hey, look at that. You got the cliffside right onto the towns below. Yeah, the detail down here is stunning. Even the roads, etc., all worn and used out and cracked. You gotta love the attention to detail in this particular DLC. I'm glad this one is done to a high standard. How long do we have to do this? We only have 8 hours 44, which is actually not that long. So this might be a fast delivery job, which is going to pay extra money. Yeah, treacherous roads out here. Extremely dangerous. Even the speed limit's kept down to 31 miles an hour. Crawling along these mountain roads. Okay, winding, bending roads up the mountain. We are climbing, guys. We're climbing. We are very high up at the moment. I think if we were at the airport, it's going to be interesting to see when we go back on the flight sim just how high up these places actually are. I suspect these are a couple of thousand feet. Skopje, I think it was 18, maybe 800 feet or something like that. The other one we departed from was 1800. So yeah, quite the challenge for the Euro trucks. And I haven't even got realistic like fuel consumption on or pneumatics, which is kind of how it comes as default. Imagine if I think we should turn that on. I know we'll try it in the next video stream and see how much of a difference it makes to fuel consumption if we have that realism setting on. There's the border from Macedonia into Albania. Some F1 on the sign there as we go past. I don't know how big that is down here. We've already tried out things. I've already tried out Monte Carlo track. That's insane, but Tirana, not too sure. Hey, all clear. There's actually a guard in that box as well. A lot of them seem to be automated. There's the flag of Albania. You can't see it, but it is like right there above us. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the challenge. This is what we've all been waiting for. It's roller coaster track time. All the way down that hill now, so we've climbed up the mountain to Skopje, now going back down into the centre of Albania. And it's a 37-mile-an-hour limit. A lot of fun to drive down. So much fun to go around this region. Getting towards the Black Sea, if we'd gone more east, obviously through to Bulgaria, maybe Sofia, we could have got to the Black Sea. I am considering the beyond something about the Black Sea. I'm considering that DLC because it might be useful. I think it might also include Hungary as well. I mean, you'd hope it would include places like Romania. Or of course we could do the opposite and go south from here, so go down to Greece, and that's like its own DLC too. And now I've got the Turkey DLC coming out. That'll just be south beyond that, won't it? Yeah, there's no way. Whoa, there's no way we're doing those corners at 37. 25 miles an hour, that's a bit more realistic. Treacherous, my guys. Lavash, the side of the road. This looks like just a real isolated community out here. There's hardly anything here. Really secluded. Just farmlands and occasional houses. There's a bit of a town coming up, but not much. Not much in the region, I guess. I guess a little bit worse off than the north of Balkans, where we were before. You see there, we've got farmers' equipment, tractors. Elbasan, new location discovered. It looks like people are still at work here. It's gone past 10 o'clock. People still in the offices. absolutely gorgeous city here. Really, really well done. Really, really built up. Look at the difference between the default that we were in earlier from the United Kingdom all the way through the default Europe, and then the moment we get to the Balkans and places like this, look at how many more buildings there are, how many more signs, how much more traffic. It just feels so much more alive. I really think they did a smashing job. This is probably more detailed than the flight sim, I think. Are we going the right way here? Yeah, so more detailed than the flight sim. You just don't get this. I downloaded SimHeaven Europe for the X-Plane 12, which is as close as it's going to get. But if you want that ground level detail like this, then Euro Truck Sim really is the way to go. And you get that sense of place, at least the buildings are accurate. The whole region just feels a lot better. I think this is probably my favourite. Oh god, we're going to get in. Oops. Road closed there, it's kind of thrown us off track. Mercedes is letting us go. Yeah, this scenery in the Balkans, absolutely 5 stars. If they do this for their Turkey scenes, their Turkey DLC, which they probably will, and for their Irish one, it's gonna sell like hot cake. And I probably would try the Turkey one. The Turkey one probably more than the Irish one, because I want to drive down in this region more than I do in the United Kingdom. We saw earlier the trip through Manchester to London took a considerable amount of time, but in the Balkans at least there's stuff to look at. In the UK it's just the motorways. Right, we're really ballsing up here, we gotta focus. Yeah, the stray dogs here in the Balkans, and there probably is in that Hungarian, Romanian DLC. I think that, I'm pretty sure that's the Black Sea DLC. But there is dogs out here, there's wildlife, I've seen cows. Some of the transport jobs will actually have you transporting animals. I transported some pigs, which was interesting to say the least, because they're quite noisy. And that we are literally there, Tirana. I think this is one of the best cities in Balkan DLC, because I've never driven to this before, it's my first time here. But yeah, impressions are very, very good. This is as surprising, if not more, than Slovenia's, Sarajevo, which is another one I went to. That was absolutely fantastic. Sarajevo and I think Tirana, 2 of the top cities to go to on the DLC. 100%. I mean, look at this, just look around at us. The city is absolutely massive. Stokes. Should we go in this one? I think we can go in this one, can't we? Might be a bit easier. Otherwise we'll have to do a steep turn at the end there. And then we should be able to back into a space. He's going to have us going on to one of the loading docks. Didn't actually check how much money we're getting for this. 90 XP again. Position is... Okay, that's a lot better than I was expecting. I thought they were going to give us a turnaround job. In fact, we may have to turn around. Just assess the situation from the cockpit. Yeah, this is going to work out nicely. Not the best angle, is it, to get this in? Something's catching me out on this one. I suppose the parking has got more difficult as time's gone on. I don't know if that's a deliberate thing of the game or if that's just because I got worse at driving. That's us parked up. Parking brake on, engine off. Last delivery of the night, boys. Grantham delivers. 3 hours of driving, Jesus. Absolutely fantastic journey though. Over 2,000 miles has been covered in this trip over the space of 3 hours. We earned over 80 grand. That is, you know, so worth it. Yeah, fantastic area. Tirana really stands out as a gorgeous, you know, 5-star city, so I recommend it. I appreciate everybody's been here. Those who are watching and catch up. Those who are just here because they want to see what your truck's like. I did a 3-hour journey. Absolutely amazing. I did a thing and now I'm exhausted. So everybody have a fantastic evening. I'll see you in the next one.